What's going on? We got some hot police body cam footage. We're gonna check it out right now. Make sure you like the video and subscribe right now if you're new to the channel. We're gonna get right into it and see what they talking about. It's from Active Self-Protection.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's research-informed defensive lesson here at Active Self-Protection. I am your host, as always, John Correa.
And I'm your co-host, Neil Widener.
BakerTargets.com is where I get the targets you see me shoot all the time on Active Self-Protection Extra. They ship fast, their prices are great, and they have all kinds of targets, both for competitive shooting, defensive shooting, and fun too. Check them out.
This one is out of Panama City, Florida. What you see here is cell phone bystander footage. What this started as is a road rage incident. The truck in the back is piloted by Methany and her boyfriend, Matthew. And they're really upset at the family in the front for the way that they're driving. So at the light, then it escalated, and this is like a 48-year-old woman, a couple of dudes in the car. The 48-year-old woman's 19-year-old daughter is sitting in the driver's side rear seat, and at some point, the daughter got out and had some kind of a physical altercation with the woman in the truck who is the driver. That did not get caught on video. Apparently, the two guys on the passenger side of the red vehicle got out to kind of cool that off and get it to calm down. We have audio from here. Let's listen in.
Oh my gosh.
Here is pictures of our perpetrators. The guy who was in the passenger seat fired 11 rounds. Those rounds hit both the lady and the 19-year-old daughter in the chest. The mother died at the scene. It was her birthday. The daughter is, last I saw, listed in stable condition in the hospital. This wonderful couple then ran off. A cop was in the vicinity, chased them. They ran off and had to be caught, wrecked their car up. Dude ran off into the woods, tossed the gun in a parking lot. They did end up catching him. They are charged with a bunch of stuff, murder, accessory to murder, and all those things. Hey, if you want to train and make your skill set better in a live fire environment, Neil Widener is the guy who runs our Active Self-Protection live training program.
Yeah, it's a good time. We travel around a few different places in the country. This year, we're going to 5 locations. If you want to see where that location is, hit the link, go to the Train With Us tab, and get in on the ASP Skills Summit is what we're calling it this time. It's a good time, a lot of fun time. You're going to get to put a lot of ammo down range, and hopefully learn something along the way.
Boy, lesson number 1 here, Neil, and I feel like we say this so often, is that road rage is so unbelievably stupid that you want to stay away from it. Of course, if all of these actors, if all of these people, by actors I mean the people involved, could go back and do it over, hopefully, I mean, all of them would say, no, this is stupid because the outcomes are so egregious, but we can't go back and redo it. We can only do it in real time. So we have to say, I will not be a perpetrator of road rage.
It's just crazy that we continue to say this over and over and over, and that there's just so much video evidence out there that it's not stopping. And I think people need to figure out a way to control their emotions, to not get themselves into these situations, because the videos that we see are the horrible ending ones, but you see it all the time. I just saw it the other day, 2 dudes honking each other on the road, buzzing up next to each other. And I'm like, it's just dumb. Nothing good is going to come out of this. You're not changing anything, and you're never going to see this person again anyway. So why does it matter? Why are we so frustrated?
I love that reminder. You're never going to see these people again. You are not going to teach them a lesson. It's not going to get better. So let them in, wave them on, control your own ego, recognize your own goodness in the world, that you don't have to be the moral police, because outcomes like this are just a reminder of how terrible it can get. Now, Where did this one go south? Because these two guys, I think, ostensibly got out of the car, Neil, in order to calm down what had been a physical altercation with the 19-year-old who had gotten out and had some kind of a physical altercation. And of course, are 19-year-olds known as the most prudent people on earth? No, but we're supposed to be good, sane, sober, moral, prudent people. And so learning when you just got to say, hey man, you're right, I'm sorry, even if they're wrong, I think is a skill that comes with age that unfortunately I see a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s not learn.
It's difficult to control that for sure. And we don't see young people do that very well. I mean, ask me how I know. I've got a 19-year-old that lives with me. He does not make great decisions sometimes, right? But as we're older and as we mature, hopefully we can find that place. And it is hard. You know, none of us are perfect drivers. As much as we think we are not. And so at some point, you're going to accidentally cut somebody off. At some point, you're going to not use your blinker. At some point, something is going to happen. And just having the superpower to wave and say, I'm sorry, is going to get you out of 99.9% of these. Now, the other guy has a vote as well, but hopefully he can be, or she can be mature enough to take the I'm sorry wave and move on with their day, because it does nothing but control you for the rest of the time you're at least in the vehicle, and then you don't make good decisions. So, you know, like you say, John, I think it's really hard to do that, but I think it's a superpower to be able to say I'm sorry even when you're not wrong.
Even when you're not wrong. And even apologizing for the stupid actions of the 19-year-old who maybe escalated this. Now, again, I don't know if she did or if the gal in the pickup truck did. I'm not sure who escalated that. But regardless, separating them, cooling it off. You're right. Hey, I am so sorry. Go on ahead of us. We're just going to get out of your way. I'm not even going to go down the road that I need to go down in order to get to my location. I'm going to turn off so you can have that road and just avoid the conflict. A lifestyle of de-escalation, escape, and evasion is key, because you don't know how far they're willing to take it. That's, I think, one of the biggest.
Big facts. I done did that multiple times. You go ahead. I'm going to go the other way. So I don't have to murder you. That's how I move.
Lessons here is this guy just decided, well, we had a little physical altercation, and that got me to the point that I am willing.
You bust that many shots to my shit, somebody gonna die for sure, bro. Oh God.
Willing to murder you for your girl putting her hands on my girl. And when you don't know that, and that's the world that we live in, these are the reasons that, again, you want to live a lifestyle of de-escalation, escape, and evasion. And of course, Neil, here, there's no justification for what he did. This is just stone cold murder.
It absolutely is murder. And back to your point, it's difficult for folks to apologize when they're not wrong, or when they feel like they're not wrong, for sure. But think of what could have been avoided here. And what I'm not looking forward to is the comments here of, well, you don't do that to me, and I don't, you know, I have full rights when I'm driving, and all of that other kind of stuff. That's not the attitude we're looking for. When we're talking about an attitude of escape and evade and de-escalate, what we're talking about is sometimes you have to swallow your pride a little bit, or you can end up like this, and you can have your mom die on her birthday. For crying out loud, it frustrates me every time I see one of these things, because I'm like, at what point can we mature as a society and get along? This one's just ridiculous, and to murder somebody over some sort of silly traffic infraction just seems silly.
There are rights worth dying for. The right of way is absolutely not one of them. Absolutely not one of them. Now, if you see this as a bystander, or you're in the car, there are two things here that I think that bear witness. Number one, this is why we keep emergency first aid equipment on our person. This is one of the reasons. Now, I've never used my individual first aid kit, my ankle kit, or my car kit, which I keep both, on a gunshot wound, but I have used them at car wrecks multiple times, and I strongly recommend them. We sell them through Mountain Man Medical. All the proceeds that would come to active self-protection from those go to charity. So go pick one of those up, or roll your own. I don't care. You're not making me any money either.
My boy is saving the cars. I can imagine my boy just hopping on when he see a wreck, give his 2 cents, see what he can do to help. That's what's up, though. Skinny face, damn boy.
Way, I like supporting charities, and again, links in the description on that. So having the skills to use those, very, very important, but also to practice spiritual fitness, because, you know, you want to make sure you've lived a good, sane, sober, moral, prudent life, that you've made a difference in your world, that your loved ones know that you love them, because you may be this mom on your birthday and you don't get another chance to tell everybody that you love them or solve the problems in your relationships. And you want to make sure your relationship with Jesus is strong, because you may not get another opportunity to do that because somebody else had a vote in it, Neil. And I know that people are always going to push back when we talk about either one of those lessons, but I really think they're salient here, Neil, and we need to.
It absolutely is. And I think it's a matter of pride and, but my rights kind of thing. But I don't want my mom's last thing or memory of me as she passes away to be that I started a fight that got her killed. And maybe that's a way to frame it. If you could frame it as what would my mom think right now? And I know we don't all have great relationships with her mom. I do. And it matters to me. And I care what she thinks. And I care that she knows that I'm a good, sane, sober, moral, prudent person. And in this scenario, there's nothing worth fighting over in this scenario that we see right here that that somebody should have to pay for it with their life. And John, I just think that as self-defenders and as good citizens, we need to take a step back, swallow our pride, and cover our ass that way sometimes too.
Yes, sir. That was a crazy one. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me know what kind of person you is, bro. Would you accept the fact that you in the wrong or in the right and let it go? Or you the type to let that horn go? Let me know.